We're back,
Yo,
baby.
we're live. Yeah, how you doing, dude?
Good. Things are good. Um, this month will be the most booked calls I've ever had in a month,
Ever?
ever,
However,
by
how many?
3.
By three.
I
Okay.
think, I think my record before was 29.
Okay.
Um, and I had 32 this month.
Hell yeah.
The cool part though is when I had 29, I would say 70% of those were doing less than 50K a month.
So they were
Um,
disqualified mostly for you.
yeah.
hmm
At the time, I was still selling smaller businesses, but so
hmm
they weren't disqualified. But um, now I would say of the 32 I booked, um, 25, 27 of them, right around there, are above a million.
Let's go. What was the change, or
So
what happened that that created that inflection point?
um, it's actually taken a while. Like I've had to reposition my site, my bio, pretty much everything. Like even the way that I pitch, like just to
Mhm.
say I'm going to work with bigger clients only. Then I don't take calls with people that are smaller, so they can't make it through after they go through the application. Um, so what I ran into was a problem with I was getting too few calls. So if I just pull up my stats really quick, like last month was 11, the month before was 12, the month before was 8, 10, 9. So like I made the change, but I was getting a lot fewer calls. But now I've got a few marketing channels that are just really working for me. So, yeah, it's a good problem to solve. Now we move to the next.
I love it. What's the next problem you think? Is it conversion rate, like conversion rate from the sales calls, or?
Yes, it's conversion. Some of the marketing channels are new to me, and so the sale is different. There's also the sales cycle is a little bit longer. So, Facebook ads is one thing where I am starting to book a lot of calls, but it's going to take a few weeks for them to close. So I've been running it for about a month now. And so like I have to sell them on LinkedIn a lot more is a big barrier there. Also, I raised my rates right before I started running Facebook ads. So maybe I'm running into a little bit of a headwind there. But the interesting thing is I've got probably 5 people that are like right at the finish line. I haven't closed anyone from ads yet, but they've said, I want to do this. It's just a question of when, not if. I'm on a trip for 2 weeks or I'm just about to launch this product. So I'm optimistic, but yeah, it's been interesting. It's going through some pain in the sense of big money commitments without a return yet. I am getting a return. It's the qualified booked calls, but I haven't seen it hit the bank account yet.
Seems like you're close though, and that's exciting. And it's also exciting that you're seeing that kind of signal with a new channel that's so, I don't want to say so predictable, but it's at least more predictable than organic.
Yes, I will be ecstatic to be able to buy customers for like a couple
hmm
$1,000s without. I mean, you're doing the outreach grind right now. It's an
hmm
absolute grind, like
Yeah.
sending a ton of messages a day. And I've done that. I've done that for a long time. But if you can trade money for time, and you have the money, then it's pretty nice.
I agree, dude. Yeah, I was telling you yesterday about this friend slash basically this person who runs a health and fitness program that I joined last year. I was catching up with them, and he just casually dropped this. He was kind of telling me about his marketing, and he casually said that he found a new scalable acquisition channel. And I was like, oh, that's my love language, dude. Tell me more. And he was like, well, explaining this whole thing that he's doing. And basically, not that I'm a net worth or high net worth people, but like he's ICPs, high net worth founders. And what he's done is he found a lot of communities with that type of person that he has either a relationship with the founder of the community or somehow kind of find his way into the community. And he's essentially offering free DEXA scans for these people with the only condition that after you take the exam, I'm sure there's like some sort of funnel in there involved, but after you book the after that person books the DEXA scan and they get it done, you jump on a call with him to walk through the results, and then he pitches you on his program. And apparently he's crushing it with it. And I just found that was fascinating, way of acquiring customers.
Gets in the right community, offers a free Trojan horse to get people in.
Mm-hmm. And it's
I love
like
it.
The nice thing about the Trojan horse though is that it's just money. It's almost like ad spend, that he's investing into getting these free DEXA scans for people. He doesn't have to do any work besides the call, but that's basically the sales call,
Yes, that's cool. Any applications for you there?
I don't know. I think the problem for me right now is that, and I think this is one of the downsides too of running like a business where the marketing is primarily organic marketing, but it's I don't know how much it costs me to acquire a client, because again, most of my
it's time.
It's time. So it's hard for me to like kind of have a benchmark that
I'll tell you how I do
can
that, by the way.
Yeah.
So you can estimate your CAC if you're doing content for yourself, if you're getting clients from that, then you say, what would it take to hire a full-time content person to do what I'm doing? And you say, okay, maybe it's $5,000 per month. Like I'd be paying somebody full-time. So that's what I equate my content services that I'm doing for myself to. And then you say, oh, I'm also like doing a ton of outreach. And you say, if I were to hire somebody full-time to do outreach, how much would that cost? If it's another $5,000, then you say, okay, I spent $10,000 on marketing this month, even though it was all my time. And then you say, how many customers did I acquire? I acquired 3. So each customer was $3,300 cost per acquisition.
That's okay. That's not too complicated. I like that. I think I might run that exercise this month. But yeah, the reason why I was bringing that up is because like a few weeks back, I think I read an interview of, I think, Neville Medora. You're probably familiar with him. He was interviewing an agency guy who scaled, I think he was like a website building agency, but like he scaled it to like multiple 8 figures. I think it was like huge. I think he was working with like only enterprise and Fortune 500 companies, which makes a lot of sense. But the fascinating thing was that once they knew, like they had their ICP locked in, they had a bunch of success stories and case studies, and they knew obviously their CAC, they started to send free iPads to people, and they would essentially like have like a preloaded sales presentation in the iPad. And so they would send you a free iPad, you would get the iPad, you would be like, hell yeah, and then you would see the whole sales presentation in there, and it was amazing. It was profitable, and like their LTV was so high that they could afford to do that and make
That's
it all
insane.
profitable. It was awesome. Yeah. And so anyway, I don't think I'm answering the question, but at some point it would be freaking awesome to do something like that. I just need to like first, keep doing some of the fundamentals.
Yes.
And also get a better sense of what my CAC is.
Yeah. You sent me the Dream 100, like the story. Everyone's heard of create your Dream 100 customers, go after them. Not everyone's heard the story behind it, but you sent that to me this morning, and it reminds me of that. It's basically get the 100 like perfect people that would get all of the business, whatever. They're already the winners. If you get them as clients, you win. Then do everything in your power. Send them custom gifts, send them whatever you can, handwritten letters, to win them over, and you win.
Dude, well, I went down after reading that little blog post. I think it's from marketingexamples.com from Harry Dry. I went down the rabbit hole because I was like, who is this guy? This guy's fascinating. And so it turns out he has a book that's called The Ultimate Sales Machine. I had heard of the book, but I hadn't read it.
I've heard of that.
And it's like, I'm sure you've seen it. You know how when you're looking at a book on Amazon and there's like recommendations underneath the book that you're looking at. I'm sure I've seen that book like 100 times there, and I had never like bought it or anything. But I bought it, and he has like a whole, like, I think probably 3 or 4 different chapters of the book are devoted to like how to tactically execute the whole Dream 100 strategy. But like, to
Really?
like the maximum degree, where like he tells stories of like him going, like I think he was, who was it? I think something, I don't remember who it was, but it was something of the caliber of, oh, Jay Abrahams.
Yeah, Jay
Um,
Abraham.
like, yeah, like he was the Tony Robbins of like the last century, basically, and he followed up with Jay Abraham for like 2.5 years until they did business together. And so Jay was
Wow.
at the top of his top 100 or Dream 100 list, and he literally worked that prospect for like 2.5 years until they finally like had a dinner or something, and they did business together.
I just bought the book. So I'll
It's
join
an
you. I'll
awesome
read
read.
it.
Yeah, awesome read. I'm going through it right now.
So as I'm taking a lot more sales calls, I am thinking about, I have like maybe 7 or 8 clients who are just perfect fits. Like they pay me a lot of money. They are getting massive wins. Like there's a very clear return on investment. And it makes me just think more about, if I could just get the winners in the personal brand space already, it's so much easier to win. And if I can just get another 10 of them, they won't ever leave, and they'll pay a lot because they're making a ton of money. They want the best service, and they're never going to leave because I know we can crush it for them. And the results are going to speak for themselves. And there's almost like, as an agency, optimizing the quality of your clients is almost as important as the number.
So does that mean that you're potentially thinking of replacing or swapping some of your existing clients with more of those higher quality clients, or?
Absolutely, but not until like I have excess
Sure.
capacity right now. So I
Sure.
want to hit my client cap and then optimize.
Yeah. Are there any other like tangible implications you think you're gonna kind of implement as you think of that, or?
Yes. I am going to do more pitch in public posts, and I'm going to do more Trojan horse offers. And I have, this is, I guess, a tactical tip. I have a kill list, which is in military very different from business.
Yeah.
With business, it's like it's basically my Dream 100. There's not actually 100, but I've got maybe 20 names on there of people that I feel confident I would just do an amazing job for. And so, yeah, I'm going to spend some time. I am busy right now, but I'm going to spend some time trying to land them as clients.
How many pitches in public do you think you're going to aim for? Like one per week or more?
I will probably aim for one per week. I've got like 3 people I want to do them for. Not all of the people are great for a pitch in public, but
yeah,
I've got like 3 or 4 I want to do a pitch in public for.
Well, because the reason I ask is because I've been meaning to get back on that train too, because I know they work and I just haven't been doing them frequently enough. So if you want to do the weekly cadence, I'm happy to do some accountability there and also do like a weekly one as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm down to do it for August if you want.
Let's do it.
One a week.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Another interesting thing is what you shared with that prospect, but there are some, like, maybe you should join this. So this is like one of the top schools. School has this leaderboard.
Yeah, I know that guy. He's Andrew Kirby, I think. Or like
the guy who runs it is
Andrew.
Aiden, but yeah, I think Andrew's involved.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's the fastest path for educational creators to make 10 to 100K a month on school. So I think they have a lot of people that are probably doing 50K a month on school. You mentioned those have been some of your best clients. Are these like school creators? They usually are solo. And so if they're 50K a month, they're making 50K a month profit, which is the equivalent of a $2 million business, right? They have the money to pay you. And so joining something like this and offering free services, very interesting. I don't know if they would let you in. Like maybe you have your paid newsletter and you could like, I don't know, but because they want the educational creators, but
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
That would be very interesting. Totally. I agree. I think that would be very interesting. But yeah, I've been finding a lot of signal with these people. Something that I was just chatting with one of these new clients, and one of the things that he was saying, because most of these people, their funnel is like YouTube content to school group, and it works extremely well. And he was like, "Yeah, man, like I've been doing that for a while, and it's been working awesome. And honestly, the whole reason why I'm doing it is because I've been seeing all these heavy hitters who are crushing it with their school groups do the same thing."
Yeah.
And what I told him was, I think the reason a lot of them is like a lot of them are seeing success with that strategy in spite of doing that, not because of it. And I do think many of them, if not all of them, and we could turn this into a little debate if you want.
You saw
But I
my
do
email subject line earlier this week.
yeah, that could be another interesting debate that we could dive into. But I do think a lot of them could be generating more revenue if they had a minimalist. And I also don't think it has to be binary, right? Like I was telling this guy, I don't think it's either you only promote the newsletter or you only promote the school group. I think there's a place and a time to promote each one. Like I do think if you're sending traffic to your school and in addition to that you have a newsletter with multiple sequences, I'm sure you're gonna make more money that way.
Yeah, that's interesting. I am curious, maybe since we're on the subject, what do you think about? This was kind of the take. So I mean, the subject line was you don't need a newsletter, right?
Yeah.
Down here at the bottom, this is where I explain it. You don't need email. I've got plenty of clients who make all their money directly from social media. Your funnel can be YouTube to school. That's working. So what purpose does email serve? It can plug the holes in a leaky bucket. So there's a lot of people, they hit a $200 school group landing page. They're not going to convert, but they would give you their email and a little bit more convincing, and maybe they would join your school group. And so you can basically, ultimately, you'll get more sales, maybe not short term, but long term, you'll get more sales if you use email, especially if you turn it into something that isn't just you're just remarketing, but it's actually adding value like a newsletter, and there's a clear value proposition. That was kind of my point. Do you agree with all that?
I do. And I also think the other part that people missed, I do think the point of, capturing the people who are not ready to buy, I do think that's one of the big components there. I also think, though, the other component is doing more advanced things that you can simply not do with social. I'll give you an example. Or, I mean, maybe you can, it's just way less effective. So, for example, this one of our clients recently who also has a school group, we help him execute a monthly to yearly upgrade campaign. And in 3 days, that drove $20,000 in revenue from people who were paying him on a monthly basis and then upgraded to yearly. There's no way for you to, sure, you could maybe run that promotion within your school group and using the very basic function, like email functionalities of school, you could send some emails there and make an announcement, but it's way less effective and you wouldn't be executing the whole strategy effectively if you were only doing that. And that's kind of the other unlock that you see once you start doing email, if you have an offer like that,
Yeah. Something that might be worth experimenting with as you're working with more of these school creators is if they have their paid community, a free community actually adds a really interesting element because you get natural discovery outside of whatever traffic source you have, which can be huge. It can be, you can drive a ton of subscribers that way. If you add the custom question of what's your email, and then you could import those and you could remarket to them via email and in the free school community. I see that as a really powerful flywheel too.
I agree. I think you're launching one, don't you? Aren't you?
For myself?
Yeah.
One day. We're gonna wait. We got several items to check off before then.
Yeah, that's definitely a shiny object for both of us, but I do think it's an interesting traffic arbitrage. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, okay, here's an interesting thought. What do you think it would be completely nonsense to try and create a free school group with the whole goal of getting more leads for your agency?
I think I could have It's just changing like the delivery cube that Hormozy talks about. Instead of done for you service, it would be, 10 to 1, 50 to 1 type delivery.
Yeah.
With people that are doing it themselves, and maybe there's a couple calls a week. There's a few people doing this really well. One is Matt Lucero. He has a cold email agency that does something like $150K a month. He started a school community, which he helps people who have cold email agencies or people who have businesses that want to use cold email.
Yep.
$500 a month. He's got, I don't know. I think he was making like $15K a month with it, but maybe some of those people convert, right? To become done for you clients, and he gets paid along the way. Then Max Sturdivant is doing that with his email ecom remastered or something, and it's he's making like $60K a month with it, all profit, and maybe it leads to some sales. I just don't think I think it's more of a maybe it leads to some sales, but it's not like a super clear path.
It's it's really just another revenue stream, and like I'm almost like another vertical of your business. I think, okay, yeah, I agree with all of that. I think my question was different though. So I was, because one of the things that you were kind of highlighting there with school is how you get, with all the discoverability and all the traffic that is coming directly to school, there's an interesting opportunity for you to like essentially get free leads or free customers from it. And so my point is like, would it make sense to have a community there that's either paid or like pretty much paid, just so you avoid the spammers, and then use that to get like actual agency leads?
Yeah, that's a great question. Is more traffic ever bad? I mean, like, I think it could make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The other thing though is you don't want to just put half an effort into something. At least I don't.
Sure.
Like if I want to do it, I want to do it well. So I wouldn't just do it to, maybe I'll get some free traffic. Like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do a really good job with it.
That's fair. And I mean, that would probably result in more traffic,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel some FOMO for sure though right now, because school's starting to do their growth boost or whatever, where they're spending money on ads for communities that are converting well. And they have their organic discovery, and there's a lot of people that are getting a lot of free traffic from school.
Okay, here just to entertain the idea of cheating with the woman in the red dress. So, what would it look like to have like literally like a either, I don't know if this helps with because actually let me take a step back. So they are running paid traffic to the best performing communities, or the communities that are converting the best. Now, I don't know how they're measuring that, and I don't know if communities with a one-off time fee count toward that, or if they're prioritizing communities with MRR. Do you know anything about that?
All I know is they take 30% cut to any new users they bring in, with the goal of breaking even or making a little bit of profit on that, so they can just keep investing because they want more people in school.
Okay, interesting. So we don't know exactly what type of like offer structure you need, but for sure they're prioritizing people who have a paid community. I also know that on the homepage of the discovery page, or like section, most of the people at the top of the page are paid member or groups. They're not like really promoting the free ones as much. And so the reason why I flag that is because I do think you have a way higher likelihood of getting the benefits of that whole discovery tailwind with a paid group. And so what I think would be interesting is having a super low ticket thing, say like
$9 a month.
Yeah, or like even if it's like a one-time fee type of offer qualifies, even just like a one-time fee where people and you avoid spammers, you qualify quote unquote for getting some of that discovery traffic or even the boost from the ads. And then all you're doing in the community is you host all of your lead magnets there. We've both created like dozens of them.
Yes.
We could do like a monthly free call, like it's basically a webinar. have it in there. And maybe answer questions, once or twice per week from people in the community and engage with them and just add additional value. But I don't know. I think, and if we get a lot of additional traffic, and we would have to define what that looks like. But if we could get a lot of additional traffic from doing that, I think that could be interesting.
The other problem that solves is we both talked about how our content libraries, like making it bingeable, is difficult. And we have created a ton of lead magnets. And so I think it's an amazing place to store those lead magnets.
Agreed.
Which, I mean, I would love for it to be a free community and just have some type of conversion opportunities in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know exactly how discovery works and traffic works with the free communities. Although I know it can work.
Yeah, I think if it's free, it can also work. But I think that's when you start to rely more on like search. Like people have to search keywords that are related to your thing in order to find you. It's, I think, unlikely for you to be on the front page of the school discovery site if you have a free community. That's my understanding, at least.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to pay attention to it because there's some opportunities there for sure. And ultimately, like I would love to run a school community actually. Like I really would. I'm focused on one thing at a time. Fill the client cap, optimize the clients, and then think about it.
Ignore the lady in the red dress. Yes.
For now.
Yeah.
Speaking of we were talking about yesterday kind of the difference between getting distracted versus just money models, right?
Yeah.
It's like Hormozy's always talking about focus on your one business, and then he comes out with money models. He's like, here's 100 different offers you can make. But it's all within the same business, right? So that's kind of the difference. And we talked about doing another cohort potentially. What do you think about that?
I think it's a great, obviously, first the shiny object seeker in me. Not to say that that's a shiny object necessarily. I think that's what we're trying to figure out. But like the shiny object seeker in me definitely craves that novelty, especially now that I'm like in the middle of all that outreach grind. I think it would also be fun and interesting to see if we can hit a new PR. I think the last PR that we had with that offer in terms of revenue was
28.5 or something.
28. Yeah, 28K. So now that we have a bigger list and a bigger audience, it could be interesting to test that. But to your point, I think we were kind of going back and forth of whether the offer qualifies as a like almost like a downsell of our services. I think, most of the things that we talk, if not everything that we talk about in the curriculum,
or like an intro offer.
Sure, like an intro offer. Yeah, I think most of the things that we talk about in the curriculum are things that we do as a service.
Yeah.
The only thing that's kind of different is the delivery of it, because it's just us in a one-to-many setting, but it does feel like pretty aligned. And like truthfully, like the last two times that we did it, we didn't really try too hard to get clients from it. So if we do try it harder, what's
I've
your
landed
thought?
one client from it. And I think we've had a few people who've been good prospects.
Yeah.
The most of the people, because we do a survey at the beginning, were not good prospects for us.
Yeah.
Who join. But if we get 10 people in there who are good prospects and we get to spend a few weeks with them, and we're getting paid to acquire customers instead of spending our time and money, like that sounds pretty nice.
It does. And I also think if we were to kind of look to make that type of move in terms of like attracting a different type of person, we could also increase the price point and make it where it's either the same amount of revenue that it's produced before or more, with more conversion opportunities for like, services.
Yeah. If we were to do that, we might need to reposition it a bit because it was somewhat beginner focused. But the other thing is we've ran it twice. The operational efficiency the second time was way better. I remember not being stressed out the second time, whereas I was the first. Yeah. Which is really nice. We've already got some reps. The marketing, we did a breakdown afterwards, and we're like, if we were to do it again, this is what we do differently. So we
So
already
you have the plan.
know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
I think we should do it. I think it makes a lot of sense.
When do you think it would make sense to do it, timing wise?
I think we should do it
Before or after Black Friday?
before Black Friday.
Yeah,
for sure. I think end of August would be a great time to do it. A month from now.
September. Would you say run it end of August, or like promote it end of August and then start in September?
Yeah, let's see. August, Friday is the 28th of August. Like maybe we finish the launch then and start Monday, the 31st of August. So right at the beginning of September.
So this month we run it then.
I mean, it's July today. What are you talking about? July 31st today.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely game to explore doing it before Black Friday. I think it makes sense. And to your point, we have the curriculum. We have, like, it would be mostly updating the things that we've already built or created before and refreshing their marketing. But
I don't think we're overestimating how much work it'll be. I think we could, we have all of the pieces in place.
Yeah, that's fair. We've also gotten, well, I don't remember if you have, but like I've gotten a couple of DMs from people being like, dude, when are you doing this again? And so I do think there is demand for it, you know?
Agreed. Cool. Well, we're going to be in person next week, so maybe we chat details then. Price point, changes we're making, that kind of thing.
Let's do it. And we should also record a pod in person.
Yeah. Maybe we could get one at the co-working space I go to sometimes.
Nice.
Sweet, dude. Well, maybe
or you have something else?
I was just gonna see if I had a few notes. Let me just see if there's one or two I could hit really fast that would be useful to people and interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, that would be good. And then, all right, here we go. To increase your close rate, increase your conviction. And so easy way to do that is to create a client's wins page, put all of your wins on one page, review it before your sales calls, and you're just going to have way more conviction in what you're selling, which is going to come across to the customers. Very tactical. Second thing.
Yep.
I made a change to my type form a couple weeks back. I told you about that. It screwed up my autofill from Typeform to Calendly. So I just went back through the funnel because I'm like, I've spent $1,700 on ads and I haven't gotten any calls. What's going on? So I went through the funnel and realized the Typeform was no longer passing that along to Calendly. So, I don't know if that's the reason why, but anyway, I updated that again.
Yeah.
And it's a good practice, like make it frictionless for the customer.
Yeah.
And then third thing that would be interesting is creating some type of quarterly report for your niche and for your industry. So if you can compile unique data and say, here's the state of LinkedIn for fractional CFOs. And I looked at all 500 fractional CFOs who are posting, and these are the 50 posts that have done best. Here's some data on it. You could even host a little webinar walking through it. If you do that, it helps you be the guy for your niche.
Okay, I love those, and I think I have a reaction or something to add to all of them. So the first one was, can you remind me what the first one was? The first one was the client wins. Okay, so I think the first objection that someone would have to that one would be, but I don't have any clients yet. And so I think that's the importance of doing free work, or like another one of the benefits of doing free work, which is it gives you proof that you know what you can actually deliver results for people, and then that leads to having more conviction when you're actually pitching and charging for your services.
Yeah, if you sell websites, create a free website for your dream client and put it on your site as an example. Even if they didn't pay you for it, like just do the free work anyway and say, I built this.
Yeah. So the second one was you realizing there was something that had changed in your funnel after making some tweaks. Like this is something, it's so true, man. Like every time we would make a change, like especially with our PGA funnel that we would constantly tweak, something always would break. And so I've just built this habit of like, whenever I'm pushing something live, I just go through the entire thing again, make sure everything is working. I go through it both from mobile and desktop, and because sometimes on desktop you miss things that you would otherwise not miss on mobile. So that's another little pro
So
tip.
easy to get lazy there. I don't.
Yeah. Well, I have another pro tip there. I have a Google Chrome extension that turns your whatever you're looking on your browser. It shows you the thing from mobile view, and then you don't have to do it from your phone. And it's pretty nice.
Cool.
And then the last one was, what was the last one?
Last one was quarterly report.
Oh, okay. I also I love that idea. I think you shared that with me a couple of days ago with an example of someone who was doing it. I think it also becomes like a very interesting opportunity to do like some like outreach in disguise, because first, if you reach out to all your dream clients to feature them in the report, but you're not reaching out to them pitching them on something, you're saying like, hey, name, I'm doing this report, I would love to include you. And then that's like a completely different way to start the relationship. And then you get to know kind of some of their data and how they're performing and how their things are doing, which then gives you insight into what you could potentially help them with. And then by the time you are ready to pitch them on something, they know you've probably built trust with them because you create this whole report and whatnot. And then, yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anyone actually pull that off and do it in real life, but I do think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I like that idea too of getting the private information by doing outreach to those people, especially if they're your perfect fit prospects. I think that's actually really interesting.
And we were talking about some people who do that kind of something like that with podcasts, right? Where they basically have a podcast and then they invite their ideal prospects on the podcast and
come
then
on as a guest, and then they pitch them afterwards.
I mean,
now that you're here. No, I've heard a few people who that's like their main channel of acquisition, and it works really well, like high conversion rates.
That's crazy. That's crazy,
dude. On that point, there's something interesting about so the example I shared with you was from Chris Donnelly with his previous agency. He was helping companies like Aston Martin, like luxury brands. That's who they were going after. And so he would create like the state of luxury quarterly reports. And then he would also host live events and invite them to those events and talk through the main updates and changes in luxury. It takes a lot of work to get that data, but if you become the person, like it makes a huge difference. It's interesting. Like it makes me wonder, right now you're experimenting with these school groups. Like if you're the email guy for school groups, like that's a pretty good niche that no one really owns right now. Mm-hmm. I was talking to a client of mine who is a fractional CFO, and I'm a ghostwriter, just general B2B. And we've both noticed that now there's a million more fractional CFOs, there's a million more ghostwriters, and there is some headwind now because if you're fintech founder, you want someone who's experienced with fintech, not medtech. And so it's actually making me rethink a little bit and think like, is it worth trying to go more niche at this point, even though I have clients across a broad range of industries right now?
I think it's very interesting. I think it's also something that we could potentially test with like a campaign or like something where, imagine having, in your case, you're running ads to a page that's specifically for that avatar. And then you just tailor all the language and all the messaging to that avatar and see what happens,
Yeah. It feels like a big effort, but I mean, you could do it in a day.
You have Claude now,
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, man. Anyway, those are the ones that were top of mind.
I love it. Well, I unfortunately didn't bring the juice with new tactics this week because I've been swamped.
Dude, you did. It was just organic. You didn't prep them.
It was just reacting to yours. But I'm looking forward to next week. I'm looking forward to hanging out in person and then hopefully reaping one of these in town.
Cool, dude. Sounds good. That's the pod,
bro. That's the pod. Cheers.